Hello ladies and gentlemen, right before we get straight down into this video is strictly based on my opinion. I know that everybody has different opinions on this topic, but hope you guys can respect my opinion and my take on it as I would respect yours. So thanks for listening to this little spiel. Let's get to the main video, ladies and gentlemen. Spider-Man does whatever a spider. Aw, shit. See his face in the night. He is called Spider Shit. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, Video Game Madness 15. We are here to talk about the new and upcoming Marvel Spider-Man 2. Now, there's been tons of talk about this topic from other YouTubers in the community, but for this I'm going to give it my opinion, my take. But before I give you all my take on everything, let me give you all a simple background. I first started watching Spider-Man when I was 5 years old. I started off with the Sam Raimi trilogy, and I fell in love with all three films right from the get-go. Spider-Man 3, as crazy as it sounds, was my favorite, but I didn't understand all the hate towards it. Although now I actually kind of understand it because it's whack as hell, but it's still a good film. It has some good things about it, I should say. But, I watched the Sam Raimi trilogy, I saw the Andrew Garfield movies, and watched all of the Tom Holland movies. I actually got to see No Way Home in theaters like 2 or 3 days after it came out. And the cool thing about that was it was on a school field trip when that happened, so I was pretty lucky. But I have always been a Spider-Man fan, and Spider-Man and the whole story will always have a special place in my heart. But let's get back to the camera. Although, here, let me, while we're back here on the camera, there is a lot of YouTubers out there who are covering this and doing a hell of a job doing it. Joseph Whitty, go check him out. He does a great job covering this stuff. He gives his take, and most importantly, he says it how it is. He gives his opinion and goes with it. The Amazing Lucas, although I don't agree with everything the dude says, he still brings up very good reasons towards the characters and towards this upcoming game. And last but not least, a YouTuber by the name of Sadat, he's pretty good. I haven't seen a lot of his videos besides, Joseph Whitty and Lucas, but all of these guys do a phenomenal job at this. They've been staying on top of it. So hopefully here we could cover things from a week ago or so up to now, and we can really go from there. Also, shout out to all those YouTubers I mentioned. Okay, so here comes my take on Spider-Man 2. Now, like I said, my opinion, obviously, but Spider-Man 2, I think it will be a phenomenal game. I think that there will be a lot of things that everybody will like and enjoy, and I feel like this is going to be the game that does the symbiote and the black suit Spider-Man justice. Because, if you remember in Spider-Man 3, they really screwed up that thing pretty bad with the whole black suit Spider-Man. They really screwed it up. We had a good thing in the 90s during that 90s show of the Spider-Man. And the other thing that I could think of is Web of Shadows. I've never played it myself, but I've heard that the Venom story is a whole lot better. But, here I think that, like I said, it's just going to do it some justice. I think it's going to be cool, all the new features that we're going to be getting in the game. such as flight, like webbed wings, so you can glide in the air, like what they showed in the 1960 Spider-Man show, if you remember that. But it's gonna be interesting on how it's gonna be when it comes out. You know, I am excited for it. It might be the biggest thing that might make me buy a PlayStation 5, and I'm tempted to at this point. I'm tempted to sell one of my consoles to get that PS5. I'm thinking about it. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is to react to some of the gameplay footage that Insomniac Games had dropped a while ago. But we're not showing like all of it from start to finish because I'm afraid of getting copyright strikes from them or copyright claims. So we're gonna do bits and pieces. I will put the link down for the official gameplay footage video. It's like a 12-minute long, 12 minutes and 30 seconds, I believe, to be exact. But we're gonna start going over something. So without further ado, let's go back into it and get into that trailer. Alright, here we go. Here we are in the forest. Let's go listen. Oh. Don't know why you would taste that.
You grow slow in your old age, Sergei. A fate you will not share.
Oh, cool. Craven's in this. That's awesome.
I've been in your shadow for hours, but you sense nothing. Pathetic.
Oh.
I asked for an equal. And this is what you find.
Sir, perhaps a new hunting ground.
Like Cat's gonna be in this? Spider-Man, both Spider-Mans.
Light the fires.
So basically this is going to all be one big hunt thing for Kraven the Hunter. All in one scoop. Okay, so 6 months later, this graphics so far look pretty good. Here we get Queens! This is the first time we've gotten Queens since Ultimate Spider-Man for the PlayStation 2. Ooh! Nice! That's awesome! Ooh. Okay, Peter Parker, I see you. And you can see how the Venom stuff is really working on the suit, how it's...
Lizards across the river. I'm not gonna make it in time.
Wow, it looks really good. Kind of.
Miles, the hunter's
Awesome, we can switch to Miles Morales. That's awesome.
I'm on it. Sounds like
You know, I really like that. That's, you know, really cool.
Guess we'll chat later.
Here we go. Now, right there, that's from like the 1960s Spider-Man where you had the webbed wings. That will be awesome. I like that. That's gonna be a plus. Hopefully, it's not just for missions though. That will bother me a little bit.
They got here fast.
Also, back there, you could hear the Peter Parker cut off Miles Morales, and that's because of the suit, the black suit. It's taking over his mind. Alright, so this is like Miles Morales' combat. Alright.
So, how's the hunt going?
Watch out for his loophole!
Ooh.
Judging by the 3 tons of dead fish, not well.
So as you can see, he knows his powers now a little bit more. That's Venom right there.
Hey, man. New threats? The building's swarming with hunters. Any sign of Connors?
Dude, you literally just
yeah.
cut Peter Parker
Maybe
off.
he's
What's up
tracking
with that? I mean, not Peter Parker, Miles Morales. That's... Ugh. Alright. The water looks really good in my opinion. Whoa, there's the lizard. Ooh. Took about a good save.
Come on, let's go! Right behind you! I know!
Okay, so what I'm getting here off of this part is, so you remember how in the Warriors, where you'd have to click a button or whatever to run away from the enemy? This is what I'm getting here, to where we have to click buttons or something, as well as move the analog stick to stay away from the lizard. Which, I don't mind that feature, me personally. Now this part here is zoomed in because look at this symbiote suit. It's great. Dude, why did you just throw him? Okay, let's go back to the camera roll real quick here. Alright, I think it's really cool so far on what they have in the game. But, you know, there's a few things that, you know, I kind of don't like, but I understand why they have it. So, in the Spider-Man part where Peter Parker's Venom and got the symbiote suit, you could see like his mask looks like a helmet. But if you look closely, you could see like what would be the jawline of Venom. Now, personally, I don't like that, like right off the bat. I don't really care for it, but I understand why they have that feature there, because they want to show like ahead of time of that whole Venom thing. But who knows, maybe it's like just regular mask and then it forms that way moving forward, or like the more fighting we use with that suit, the more it's gonna turn into the Venom. That's my take on it. I'm also kind of getting a Bully Maguire vibe here. Let's check into the rest of this here.
He's mine.
You sure? He's got big teeth.
So do I.
He's not normally like that, right?
No,
Wow,
he's never like
the
that.
Spider-Man logo right there. Ooh, that's awesome. Oh, I cannot wait. Let's go back to the camera, ladies and gentlemen. I am so hyped from this gameplay footage. Woo! Okay, there's a lot of things that I like with this game so far from what we've seen from, you know, the gameplay footage from Insomniac Games. First thing I like is how they're taking the story so far. What they've showed us is their take with the symbiote suit is really good. It has a very strong point to it. And I can't wait to see how that all fares out when the game releases. But most importantly, another thing that I like is the ability to switch between Miles Morales and Peter Parker. You know, they're going to be doing this kind of like how you can in GTA 5 with Franklin, Lamar, Michael, Trevor, blah, blah, blah. And I think it's cool that they're using some from another game to make it work for here, for this storyline. And another close thing for this, again, as I mentioned, was I can't remember if this time it was Web of Shadows or Edge of Time. I'm pretty sure it was Edge of Time for that. But either way, it's still, I like it. The symbiote suit, I really like that too, But things I dislike about it, while we're on that subject. Things I dislike, as I mentioned, was the Spider-Man helmet mask looking more like a helmet. I understand, like I said, the lines of the possible Venom thing about to come out, whether it be in Peter or somebody else. Another thing that I disliked, and a lot of people might call me crazy for this, is Kraven. I don't like Kraven so far. And I don't mean that like on his character arc that they showed. That's great, no problem. But his face to me just doesn't speak to me. I know that sounds crazy, but it just doesn't say a whole lot in my opinion. And maybe it's just me. I don't know. But a thing that I don't mind, which I could turn into a dislike if and when the game comes out, is, the webbed wings. If they only put that for missions, you know how many people would be upset about that? A lot of people would be upset about that. But the biggest thing for me that I dislike about this whole thing so far is that they're only putting this on PlayStation 5. Now, I got a PlayStation 2. I got that too. But I got PlayStation 4. And there's a lot of people out there, not just me, that still play on PlayStation 4, still have a PlayStation 4 and play games on it a lot. Because they can't afford a PlayStation 5. And for Insomniac Games not also putting it on the PlayStation 4, I think that's going to be a huge miss, because if they put it for PS4, PlayStation 5 combined, their sales will go through the roof, as what they did for Spider-Man and Miles Morales. It could go through the roof just like that. But I understand what they're trying to do. They want to go to PlayStation 5 so they can push their limits. Push it to the extreme. Kind of like how Rockstar Games did with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. You gotta push it and compact it. So, those are the things I like and dislike so far. Okay, so one of the other important topics here to bring up is there's been a lot of talk on who could end up being Venom. A lot of people are saying Eddie Brock. Few people are saying Peter Parker himself is going to be Venom. And even people have said Harry Osborn, because after the Miles Morales, there's a little cut scene in the game where you see him with the symbiote or whatever in the glass case, and it breaks or it cracks or whatever. But this is my opinion, so for this part, so take it with a grain of salt. I think it's possible that Harry Osborn could be Venom, but I would cut that out because if I remember right, there was only one thing where he was the Venom in, and I almost want to say that was the Ultimate Spider-Man. The show that was out, I don't know when it was out exactly, but it had Harry Osborn being the Venom instead of Eddie Brock. And then Eddie Brock, he's been for Spider-Man 3 and a whole bunch of other movies and shows with different iterations. And Peter, we've never seen him as Venom, unless you want to count him being as Carnage, which is a close thing to Venom, just crazier. But I see it going really one of two ways. Or actually one of three ways. The first way is that it's going to end up being Peter Parker that will be Venom. That the symbiote will make him so mad and so angry that it's going to make him lose all control and lose everything that he's ever loved, such as MJ, Miles Morales. I know Aunt May died in the first Marvel Spider-Man, but characters like those two specifically could maybe give Peter Parker that breaking point, you know? The second idea, which I will follow with what other people are saying, that it could be Eddie Brock, since Mary Jane Watson works in the Daily Bugle, and so does Eddie Brock. There's been, little hints in there in both Marvel Spider-Man and Miles Morales that prove that Eddie Brock is alive in the game, but we don't ever really see him, and this would be the perfect time for him to pop up. But here's the third idea that I was thinking about, and we have to think about this with the comics too. We gotta put the comic story into this a little bit. So as we all know, with the symbiote, it will go to a host and try and stick with it, and soon it will combine with it. To me, I feel like, take with a grain of salt, but I feel like Peter Parker is going to be the second one dealing with it, dealing with the symbiote. He's going to be dealing with it for a good chunk of the game, and then he talks to MJ or whatever, and A. Brock is in the picture. Those two suddenly are together, and they've been going out. Peter Parker gets butthurt. He has this Venom side of him pop up a little bit, but the Venom side of him wants to attach itself to somebody else, which then it could briefly go to maybe Mary Jane, since she works at the Bugle, and so does Eddie Brock. And then she's on for a few hours, and then Eddie Brock tries to use sound waves or whatever to detach Venom from her, and he gets into Venom. He becomes Venom, and then he becomes the main villain at the end of the story. That, I feel like, would be close, real close, if not something completely new that Insomniac Games haven't really done, or maybe haven't even thought about. Because right there, you have this big triangle on how it could work out, how it could be. And with Peter Parker, who quit the Bugle, went his own way, and A. Brock, who's still in the Bugle, along with Mary Jane, there could be some to tie in with all of that. And I don't know, maybe I could be right, maybe I could be wrong. I know I'm probably reaching, but I know a lot of people will say, Mary Jane as Venom? Come on, man, get out of here. But it's not it's possible. Anything in the gaming industry is possible, especially if you set your mind to it. So, that's my take. Probably, like I said, good chance it'll be Eddie Brock in the end. But having that triangle again, and all three of them getting a piece of Venom, a piece of the symbiote, could be all that we need on the whole symbiote story. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we covered it all, and we're doing it in fashion here with the Amazing Spider-Man and his theme song. But I can't wait for Marvel Spider-Man 2. I know a lot of you guys out there can't wait for it either, but the symbiote story, I'm curious on what Insomniac Games got to do. I know the actors and the voice actors for the job are awesome. But if you like this, give it a like, subscribe, and we'll see you all next time. Be responsible, be safe, and be grateful.